Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka The Name Butcher, aka Hey You Get Off My Lawn, aka Kris, you're being creepy again. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. We usually delve into a lot of painting talk around here, as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So, first-time viewers, be warned. If you're attending live, you can ask your questions in the chat, whichever direction it might be in for you. And of course, if you're watching this after the fact, you can submit your questions to Kris@wayofthebrush.com. It is in the description below, as well as a link to wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all this silliness has links to all the social medias, as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling there 24/7, so it's a lot of fun. Join us there on Discord. Seriously, go ahead, do it. Go right now. Pause the video, go, join. Also at wayofthebrush.com, and in the link below is t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world? They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And of course, if you've purchased yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I'll add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. And of course, you'll find a link for Patreon support. A huge, huge thank you to all my patrons and even those that just joined. Huge thank you to all. Without you guys and your support, this channel would not go on, and I would have to go find regular type work. And so you guys helping me out, continue to do what I do, which is inform and educate and sometimes entertain. So huge, huge thank you to all my patrons. And of course, if you're considering Patreon support, there are varying tiers of support with perks associated. So click on something that makes sense to you. And huge, huge thank you to everybody who does. Of course, if you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, sharing, ringing the bell, and all that other interactive stuff for, the algorithm gods all help as well. So a huge thank you to everybody who does that. And all it takes a couple clicks of a button, and you're helping me out a great deal. And a big thank you to our friend Carl, a.k.a. Guy Meir Alfer, a.k.a. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out. If you love yourself some beer, you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl. That's where it's at. We always take the time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segments of the show. And so always much love for Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro outro music that plays at the beginning and end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro Evan. And of course, if you're into rare comics, check him out, EB Comics. It's in the description below. He's got the hookup on the rare comic scene. So, anybody who, is looking for that, that rare, I don't know. It's been a while since I checked out what he has available. So I honestly do not know. I'm just making sure everything's all set up. We're all queued up, ready to go. Who's joining us today? I can see Evan Belleau. What's up, everybody? Kevin Cabal. Hello, happening hobbyists, and happy Monkey Day. Happy Monkey Day. Ghost Starman Deluxe. I have returned after a longish absence. Praise be to the Monkey King. Lord Krabby. Sup, party peoples? Monkey Sensei. Working on basing a Hellboot. Ooh, cool. Burz Gorkash. Burz Grokash. Hello, Kris. Hello, chat. Hello, Burz. I'm just gonna say Burz because saying that whole thing, yeah, I don't have the what is that? The accent for it? I don't know. I'm talking out my ass at this point. Nick Dumont, morning folks, morning. Sir Peanut Butter, morning, Kris and peeps, morning. James of Kent, afternoon, Kris, afternoon, everyone, afternoon. That week went quick, huh? Yes, it did. It did actually go pretty quick. I was kind of busy most of the week trying to get videos done, making sure that I have videos for my patrons leading up to because I'm working on another project that, got delayed, and so I've been trying to hurry up and get other projects done so I can get back to work on this other project, and yeah, so busy. But yeah, the week did kind of fly by. Scott Radom, Sup, slapdicks. 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 Everybody just sitting around slapping their dick? All right. Far be it from me to tell somebody how to spend their free time, I assure you. Fire Drake 18, hello peeps. Hello. Ghost Starman, been messing with some of the Star Wars Legion stuff lately. Got some Stormtrooper conversions in the works as well as an escape pod I posted on Discord the other day, plus Cassian Andor and K2SO. Cool. Very hyped about the Warhammer reveals. Lots of stuff to get painted as well. It's a good time to be a hobbyist. Well, ever since the whole pandemic, has afflicted us all, yeah, we as hobbyists, we've had a bit of an advantage for obviously combating, staying indoors and getting stuff done. Now, mind you, I mean, some of the wargamers, the ones that lean very heavily wargamer or consider themselves just wargamers, yeah, it's been kind of tough for them because, the whole gaming aspect of everything is mostly a social thing, right? And so it's kind of hard to, to get together safely, And being painters and, readers and, people who are into lore or into the painting, right? I mean, we stay indoors already. I mean, everybody who was basically everybody who was pretty much an introvert was pretty much guaranteed to survive this pandemic with, very little complications, right? Everybody else who was, really about going out into bars and stuff like that. And yet, and this is one of those things, we're going to start off with a rant really early on here. With one of these, with people who are very extroverted, who like being very social and going out and seeing people and stuff like that, I don't get why they're in such an up in arms. I mean, I do get it, but when I see people out, and on the occasions that I do go out for dinners and, for a drink, whatever, everybody is like a party of people. Especially, I see this amongst younger people, especially. They're all on their fucking phones. They're all sitting, and when I used to drive cab, because years ago I used to drive cab, one time, I'm going to tell a cab story now. One time I picked up this group. It was like end of the year. It was like prom season kind of thing. And so I ended up picking up a whole, the cabs were all big vans, right? So loaded this van up with a bunch of girls, all high school age. And it was kind of a cross-town kind of adventure. So it was like a good 20-minute cab ride kind of thing. And the van was quiet, considering the fact it was a van, full of young girls, who were, looking forward to the evening, going to be a big old event for them. And, so the energy typically is running pretty high. And yet the van was quiet because they're all sitting there. So finally, I was kind of getting bored. And I'm like, who are you all texting with? And they all in unison said, with each other. I was like, all right. And I kept on driving. We just drove in silence the whole damn time. Really, really weird. And I see it a lot when I go out to bars and, restaurants and stuff like that. Everybody on their fucking phones all the time. And so I can only assume that they're all just talking to each other. Even though they're all at the same table. Or they're taking pictures of their fucking food or, all this shit, right? I don't know. I don't understand it. It is strange to me. And so, again, when people are complaining about going out and being social, like when you were going out before and being social, you were just all sitting there on your phones. You weren't interacting. You know what I mean? Like, and I just kind of don't understand it. So any of you young folks out there, feel free to tell me, like, Kris, like this, you got it all wrong, bud. It's, it is totally social because X, Y, whatever, right? Like, give me a reason. Don't just say it is social because, and, refrain from dropping boomer because I'm not a boomer. Anyway. Where was I going with any of that? Oh, we were talking about the reveals for G-dubs. Right. right. Ghost Starman, a bit of cheer in my lemonade too, but don't tell nobody about that. James Kent, those vampires preview today. Yeah, I did have a quick look at the vampires. They do look pretty darn cool. Ghost of Starman, you heard it here first, Kris. Fuck. You heard it here first, folks. Kris likes filling his van with teenage girls. Yeah, well, that was one of the perks of, driving cab. I mean, you were privy to a lot of weirdness. I hated driving during full moons. Like, no shit. Full moons? Oh, yeah. People flying right off the handles. Fire Drake 18, you're just old, Kris. The world has moved on. Right, but why is everybody up in arms about being able to go out and socialize when they go out and socialize, everybody's sitting around a table quietly on their phones? That's my point. That's not my point. It's just, that's my question. Right? Because the whole point of going out and socializing is, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. And, hey, how you been? And you know what I mean? And you engage with a person. You engage with your friends, apparently. Like, unless, of course, I've misunderstood social interactions my entire life. I don't know. But, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting. It's just interesting. Terracotta 9. I hope they at least got some candy. No. And, I mean, there was moments when they were talking and it got really loud. And, yeah, I mean, it's a van full of girls. I mean, it's going to get loud. But I thought it would be louder because they're all on their phones. And occasionally they'd all burst into giggling, right? Because they're all talking to each other. Anyway, Evan Belleau, episode 330, in unison with each other. In unison with each other. I don't get it. That one flew over my head, bud. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. I can get texting while in a taxi. A lot of people probably want to keep things private from the driver, I expect. Sure. But I see it all the time when I'm out and about, right? And yeah, like it wasn't like that was an extreme case, and that was many years ago. I mean, I've been here in Southern Ontario for almost 10 years. And I mean, I was driving cab, for years before that. And so it's like it probably anywhere from 13 to 15 years ago, So, yeah. Anyway, just one of those things, those observations. James Kent, you can't have a good time as a young person until you're letting Instagram know you're having a good time. Yeah, that's one of those things that I just kind of, I don't get it. I don't understand, like even on, like, for example, like Facebook. I know there's probably a lot of young people go like, Facebook, who uses Facebook? Nobody, only old timers use Facebook. So there we go. And yeah, having like 5,000 friends on Facebook. 5,000 people that you barely know. Like, it's seriously doubtful those 5,000 people. So why did you friend them? Why did you include them in your circle for sharing things? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Lord Krabby, I'm definitely a boomer. But when I went to bars, we played darts and pool when we did. So at least we weren't on our phones. We got wasted lots of the time, though. I miss bars. Right. Well, I mean, and that's the thing, right? When you go to the bar, I mean, you're hanging with your friends, whatevers, right? And, it's usually sitting around, having some drinks, having some good times, having some laughs. Definitely, right? And, yeah, not sitting there on your phones beside each other, having a conversation like that. That just does not make sense to me. Dark Commission. Oh, hey, Kris. Monkey folk. Monkey. Lord Krabby, episode 330. We are all boomers for the Omnisa. The Omnisa? Evan Belleau, the van story. The one you just told. Plus, I figured we need to throw out episode names more this week. Need to throw a few more, yeah. In unison with each other. Yeah, I still, like I was telling the van story, but yeah, I don't get it. Ghost of Starman, as a young person myself, I do agree that we do use our phones a lot more than older people, but in my experience, we won't use them constantly while out together, just to whip it out every so often. Right. But even still, I mean, like, I don't, like, I've shared a few of this guy's talks in the past. I don't know if you guys have seen them. But anyway, he talks about how, like, even like sitting down and engaging with a friend, especially somebody you have not seen in a long time and not been in their presence in a long time, to have your phone out in front of you, it's kind of rude because you're constantly kind of looking at it, right? And then even turning it over, it's still, you know what I mean? Like, it does not feel like that person has your full attention. Like, if you were talking to me and I was talking to you and we were having a conversation and you kept looking at your phone, guaranteed I'd probably lose my shit and smack your phone off the table. Guaranteed. So put it away in your pocket. You know what I mean? Don't be rude. When you're engaging with somebody in person, engage with them. Put that phone away. You don't need it, unless of course you're trading stocks. Like, that's the only reason I can see. Or I mean, like, if it's an emergency, you'll get the alert. I mean, like, you know, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Nick Dumont. I never see the table full of people on their phones around there. It seems everyone needed to be the loudest table till I was not able to go to the pubs and restaurants anymore. Just hurts my ears. Fire Drake. Episode 330. One van, a bunch of girls, and no one got candy. Oof. Yeah, you guys are gonna get me flagged for this shit. No fucks given. So who else thinks those sisters Centurion suits are cool and dumb? I heard they're getting a two-shot melt-a-gun, Stormbolter power weapon. Their stats are going to be like Primaris. Yeah, you know what? Let's jump over. Wait, hold on. James Kent. The thing is, social media has ruined the catching up aspect of seeing people. Everyone knows what everyone's been doing as they have seen it on social media. I miss the old days. Well, see, that's misleading. That's misleading because, for example, I can share on Facebook all the pretty things in the world that maybe I'm doing. And so you have a misconstrued view of what my life is actually like, when in fact I could be suffering from depression, I could be going through a divorce, I could be losing family, you know what I mean? Like, there's all sorts of tragedy going on that I'm just unlikely to share. Unless, of course, I'm the kind of person that shares everything. But then, what is that? Right? The person who just blurts out every little goddamn thing of their life on the internet. Like, again, these are things that these are ideas and concepts that I don't understand. They just don't make a lot of sense to me. And yeah, I don't know. But anyway, let's move on. Let me do this screen. Yeah, there we go. So, they had the preview today. I didn't catch it live. Just because, you know. Until GW says or hints that Eldar are coming, I'm not really that fired up for most previews. I mean, I enjoy the previews, but, you know. Yeah, so here they are talking. Eddie, I've met that cat a few times, and he's a hard cat to read. He's got a good poker face. Anyway, this is what I'm saying. Okay, Armor of Faith. And so here we go. Here's this big sister battle thingy. And yeah, it's a Centurion suit. Now, anybody who's played War Machine from Privateer Press, this looks like a Warjack. This looks like a Warjack from Menoth. That's my first immediate thought when I saw this. This is a damn Warjack. And, like, why are the arms always exposed on these things? You know what I mean? Like, why is the rider's arms? If the rider's legs are going to be inside the suit, why are the arms exposed? Yes, I realize the proportions and, you know what I mean, and the arms wouldn't fit, but why wouldn't a person just keep their arms tucked in, right? Like the old diagrams for Terminator suits, at least way back in the day, the idea was that the Terminator's arms actually weren't in the arms of the Terminator suit. His arms were actually kind of tucked in, cradled in beside him, and he's like, you know, manipulating from within the suit. Just his legs are pumping along and, you know, the rest of them, right? Because if you ever looked at the old school Terminator suits, like where the head is, Yeah, the shoulders would be further up and back from, from there, right? So, yeah. Now, it's a lovely paint job. It's consistent with Sisters. You know, it's cool, I suppose. I mean, like, if I was a Sisters player, yeah, this is pretty darn cool. This is kind of like I don't know, like a small dreadnought. You know what I mean? Like, it's a battle suit, right? It is kind of a Centurion type thing. It's a sister within a sister kind of thing. I don't know. I don't hate it. I'm not, fired up about it. I don't think it's awesome. Immediately, though, this looks like from War Machine. Anybody who's familiar with Menoth? Yeah, because Menoth had this whole religious vibe to them, and they had this very, these Gothic arches. These sharp-pointed arches, like above her head and above that grill above her head. Those sharp arches, you see those in cathedrals and stuff, like Gothic cathedrals. And, obviously that's telling of that kind of motif, right? The whole church aspect, and so you see like a lot of these elements reflected here. I don't know, the suit, like, honestly, the suit looks really advanced, and I'm wondering like if they're drifting away from the whole not the grim dark, but the dark age of technology. Because Warhammer 40,000 was always the dark age of technology, right? And yeah, like this feels like a very refined thing. It does not feel clunky. Remember, like the other, like that throne that the one guy rode on? That was very clunky looking, right? Because it had the big steampunk, or not steampunk, but the big steam piston type legs. Whereas this looks very advanced. Like this almost has an Eldar aesthetic to it. Very graceful. Yeah, like the aesthetic, like, are they shifting Warhammer 40,000 out of the dark age of technology? Is that what it is? I mean, no, that's fine. So, new box set, and I like these little doors. We got pictures here. Oh, Space Marine Captain. I think this is already an established model, right? The Space Marine Captain in Gravis, right? This guy's in Gravis armor? Yeah. Yeah, Gravis armor looks like, almost like the AT-AT driver helmets from Star Wars. That's what that always reminds me of. Anyway. I know some people are going, oh, come on, Kris. Everything with you is always back to fucking Star Wars. Anyway. He's basically doing a finger bang. He's finger banging. He's finger banging. Nice. He's so deadly, he doesn't even have to use his gun. For God's sakes, he just finger bangs. He's bang, bang. Bang, bang. You die. Bang, bang. This is kind of cool. I like Space Marines when they don't have big, crazy doodad weapons. I like when they're just machine guns. I don't know. That just feels more appropriate. It's too bad that heavy bolters are not, efficient in the game. Because it always looks really cool, wielding this big fucking machine gun, right? And I like that. I like heavy bolters. I don't know why it's got a big power cord, though. Wouldn't it? Like, would it make more sense if he had, like, a belt-fed bolter? Because that box mag is just kind of, he's going to zip through that really fast. This guy's aiming. Good job. You can aim your gun. Fucking Space Marines. Oh, this guy's loading his gun. Oh, that's cool. Don't really see that too often. Now, hold on. Are these all... Are these like the Eradicator suits? Is that what these are? Because like the shoulder pads look bulkier, and he's got like the back thing like on the back of his head, and the helmet's got more doodad to it. Is that what these guys are? They're like the Eradicator suits. Like it's that heavy armor. I gotta go to the chat for a second. I gotta see if you guys are telling me what for here. Oh. Yeah. So okay. So that's it. They're not gonna show us. Okay. Well, apparently it's just a bunch of Gravis Marines. I'm gonna quickly jump over to the chat. I just want to quickly see what the hell we were all talking about. Rezio. It's a baby girl carrier. A baby girl carrier. Ghost Starman Deluxe. After many years of producing guys in mech suits, GW has finally made the ultimate innovation in 40K. women in mech suits. Yeah, that's it. It's innovative, right? It's innovative. Women in mech suits. We're going to the next step. We're going to the next step. Sophie Wild, nice mini. Yeah, the sister battle. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't love it. But immediately when I first looked at it, yeah, it reminds me of Menoth. Aaron Seach, howdy Kris and Monkey Brethren, happy Saturday. Screw the sisters, screw the Age of Sigmar stuff. We need more fucking Marines. GW, you are dead to me until I get Pedro in Gravis Army. I agree with that. I would like to see, I probably, that would be the only Marine I think I would get fired up for. And yeah, I think that's about it. Unless, of course, they came up with some other kind of Crimson Fisty type of type of Marines. But a Pedro in Gravis Arm, I think that'd be really, really cool. Especially if he maintained like that big power glove with the big skulls all over the knuckles and everything like that. That's what I like. And then, of course, he has what is it the Arrow of Dorn? Is that what the gun's called? The Arrow of Dorn? The storm bolter on his wrist. Anyway. Rezio, honestly, it's pretty meh. I hate War Machine aesthetic with a passion as well. I don't hate the War Machine aesthetic. It took me a long time to get into it, but yeah, I don't hate it. Once you start, I mean, like, I'm not really fired up about steampunk regardless, right? Steampunk is just not a genre that, you know, turns my crank. I don't know. Talking about crank turning now, but anyway. Go start it looks. New kill team set is a bit BS. 5 big intercessors, 5 flayed ones. Doesn't seem very fair. Unless, of course, flayed ones are deadly as shit. What if they're like gene stealers? Like they can run really fast in those big frickin' claws and they just chomp right through Space Marine armor. Right? What if flayed ones are really deadly? The new sister suit was definitely my favorite for the 40k reveals. Aaron Seach, 330. Heretic, smell my finger. Yeah. Yeah, because the Space Marine, he's doing finger bang. He's going finger bang, finger bang. Ha, got you, finger bang. The fuck's giving episode 330, crank turning. Yeah, we're not going there yet. I mean, okay, let's jump back into the reveals because there's still more apparently. So yeah, I missed this all this morning. Again. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I like this dude. Am I on the screen properly? Yeah, I'm on the screen properly. Right? There we go. All right. Optimized. Yeah, I like the little floaty thingy cube thing. I don't know what the hell that is. It always reminds me of Hellraiser, right? Immediately, I always go to Hellraiser. I like the little tentacle things. I have yet to paint this model that's kind of like this. I can't remember what the hell he's called from the Indominus box set. But yeah. I like the staff. The whole staff of Saruman. That's pretty cool. That's a cool looking model. I like the flowiness of it. And I think really with the inclusion of these kind of guys into the Necron army is added some needed movement. Like the flowiness of like the little dangly things that come off his shoulders and his tentacles, you know what I mean? And there's a really good excuse to have some really dynamic, flowy type of models within a range that would otherwise be pretty static feeling, right? Like warriors and immortals, you know what I mean? They're just kind of marching forward and it's this very static feeling kind of force, right? You don't really imagine warriors, leaping and doing like kind of John Woo type of dives and you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff, right? Somebody out there is probably going, who the fuck is John Woo? I like these flayed ones. They're really cool. Hey, what if flayed ones are really deadly? Yeah, excellent opportunity to play with painting like dead flesh, and it's a good excuse to have blood on these guys. The big frickin' Freddy Krueger claws on them. Oh, look at this guy. He's pretty cool too. Oi, shitbag. What the hell was that?
Hey, Kris.
Hey.
Thanks a lot for your channel and your Discord. They helped me a lot.
Can't
wait to hear what you say about the plastic dude. I emailed you for review.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Killer Whale. Super chat. Awesome. Yeah, I've got your email, Killer Whale, and we will get to that today in the next, let's say, 90 minutes, because I'm going to try and keep her at the 120-minute mark today. Unless, of course, we we go off onto some really long tangents. But thank you, Killer Whale, for that. Awesome stuff. Some of you may have noticed that I included the voice chat. I don't know if you guys heard the voice thing properly, but if you didn't, let me know if it was clear as day. It's very interesting how they added that slight blue cast into the flesh tones. Like the painter's choice, like here, like the reddish tones, almost, you know, they push towards like a really kind of deep purple, almost a magenta. And for my eye, at least in the photograph, it pushes a little close to the brown of the armor. That what is that called? That dark copper color, and they look kind of close. And I think, personally, I would probably go for more of a contrastier type of look. I'd actually probably do more of a live flesh. If I was going to go with that brown for the armor, I probably would go more like that skin was fresh. And again, it would be just an excuse to, put some gore on these guys. Oh, they could do some drippy blood between the claws and stuff and on the base. It's a good excuse to use some corpses. Oh yeah, you can just horrify these. This guy's freaking scary as shit. Look at that face. Good God. Good God. He's like, come here. I got candy. Screw that. I'm not going near that guy. Oh, this guy's got it over his mouth. Oof. Oof. Oh, he's got a face on his shoulder. Oh, that's twisted. That is twisted. Yeah, that's messed up. Oh my God, that's awesome though. See, like that face, yeah, I totally would have like blood oozing down, and I probably would do the flesh tones in more of a livelier, just to contrast more with that, with the armor, because like the Necrons, they have this such aged quality to them, right? Like they have like for example, like this guy, you can see like the pockmarks in his forearms, right, on his thigh and everything like that. He's got these big dents. Like even the claws don't look nice and sharp. Imagine that, some guy chasing you with rusty, dull claws, and he's tearing you apart. That freaking suck, man. That would suck. Ghost Starman did indeed hear the super chat readout. Cool, awesome. Yeah, so that's the thing now. Anybody who does the super chat, it does a voice thing, so I will hear it and I won't miss it. Sophie Wild, episode 330, badass girls with big guns. Yeah, that can be read two different ways, I think, Sophie. Or maybe I'm just an old pervert, but well, I mean, or both are true. So what's in the box? The new kill team. So you get a captain and 5 intercessors. You get 5 flayed ones and the chronomancer. I like the little Necron-y terrain bitty things. I like these little things. And this kill team feels like almost like it's got a bit more of a board game like aesthetic to it, which is kind of cool. I mean, you know. And for anybody looking to just kind of get into the game, I mean, like, you know, can't really go wrong. And I don't think like these heavy intercessors, these models, they're not available in the range. Like this Space Marine captain, isn't he not available already? But the intercessors, like, are they not brand new? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Are they brand new? Lord Krabby, good God, freaking scary as shit. Made me laugh hard. Please, someone sound gift that. But yeah, I mean, now again, I mean, I'm not sure what all this would cost, like if you were to price it out, but it's got 48 Necron terrain bits. It's got those little doodads and the doors. What else? Is that it? Just the doodads and doors? It's just doodads and doors. I like the doodad and door thing. That's cool. Like the little doodads, I don't know what those are, but they're cool. Oh no, there's another one because there's little blocks. I can see little blocks. Adeptus Titanicus. I seen this guy. This guy is really freaking cool. He's bigger than a warlord apparently, but he's not the infamous Imperator Titan. Although he's wielding the Plasma Destructor. Is he not wielding the Plasma Destructor, right? Yeah, Plasma Destructors. And the Imperator Titan was a Plasma Annihilator. That's what it was. It was a Plasma Annihilator for that guy. But I like this thing. This thing's cool. And this is probably one of the first Titans that does not feel like it's standing hunched over. This feels like he's standing upright, even though he is kind of hunched over. And I mean, he's a bit taller than a warlord. He definitely looks like he's got more guns than a warlord. He's got like 4 guns up on the top of his thing. He's got guns in his shoulders. He's got, looks like missile bays up and deep in his shoulders. He's got the 2 big plasma destructors. He's got guns in his knees. I like it though. It looks cool. I would like to get into Titanicus, but you know, I'm not really about the Imperial Titans. I would rather see some Xenos. I realize though this is you know, they're going about this kind of Horus Heresy type of you know, vibe with all of this, but I dig the kit. I don't know. What do you guys think? That is the ugliest model I'll never buy. Dark Mission, yeah. Ghost Starman Deluxe episode 330. It's just doors of doodads. Yeah, I like it, but again, I mean, like, you know, it's not something I'm like, oh, I'm gonna jump out and get it. Everybody else out there who loves these Imperial Titans and stuff like that, yeah, I mean, they're gonna jump on this in a sec. I mean, it is a cool looking model, and I'm sure it's devastating as hell on the tabletop. But the thing is that with all those little guns all over the place, like, what is the point of the small arms, essentially, right? What's the point of the small arms fire when you're dealing with these big effing god machines, right? Because typically, like, these Titans, they're more support than they are frontline. And, like, they're mobile artillery platforms. They're fortresses. They're walking fortresses in battle, right? At least that's the way it's always been described. And you got a bunch of small arm stuff all over it, but, like, there's no small arm type of targets. I realize, yeah, there's knights and stuff like that, but, you know, where's the tanks? Where's the infantry, right? Like, where is the sense that this is a big freaking god machine walking around that's just laying waste to everything, right? We need our new epic. That's basically, that's the underlying point here, is we need our new epic, or Space Marine 40K, or Epic 40K, whatever the hell you want to call it. They'll probably call it something different. If they ever do Epic again, it probably will get a different name. I don't think they'll call it Epic. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe just to retain the copyright of it. I have no idea. Again, a lot of the moves that G-Dubs seems to make these days is about protecting their copyright, which, you know, it's understandable. Oh, Jesus, it's got a great big missile bay up on that top there. Good God, man. Good God. See, we got a plasma gun. Yeah, let's link 4 of them together. I've got a plasma gun. Yeah, let's put 4 together. We'll overcharge our reactor and blow ourselves up. Okay, yeah, so he's a good deal bigger than the Warlord Titan, because an Imperator is about like twice as tall. But mind you, the old Imperator Titan was twice as tall because, I mean, it had a goddamn castle on its roof, right? So, yeah. Cool though. I mean, I dig it. It's not something I'm super fired for. The Lumineth, yeah, this one. Oh, this guy's cool. This looks like somebody was really into Overwatch. This guy's Hanzo. This is Hanzo running around. That's what I get the vibe here with this. Somebody was really into Overwatch when they were designing this. He's got a shit ton of arrows too. That's pretty cool though. Oh, he's kind of doing like a back thing. He's jumping, like, it looks like he's jumping to his right, but he's turned his torso all the way around, and he's gonna like fire that arrow backwards. What does Hanzo say when he launches his ultimate? I can't say it because I don't speak Japanese, but anyway. That's a pretty cool looking model though. I dig it. Oh, is he legit like a fox? Wolf? What is he? He's a fox-like creature. Okay. Oh, is he special? He's not like a unit of things? He's like a special character? He's some sort of demigod? Is that what he is? I like the way they did the gemstones here. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. Yeah, see the gemstones on his headpiece and on his forehead? I like that, how they did that. It has that kind of moonstone look to it. If you ever seen like Moonstone, where it looks like a white pearl at first, but as the light plays through it, you see more bluish and purple tones. And I like how they did that. I like that. That would not be difficult to pull off either. To do that moonstone look on the gemstone. You know what? Kris might have to make a video showing how to do that. Or how I would do it. Not how they did it. I don't know exactly how they did it. I mean, looking at, holy crap, what the hell was that?
Offering van rides with ice cream and free massages is a bad business model.
Thanks, Fire Drake, for the super chat. Offering van rides and ice cream with free massages is a bad business. I don't know. Is it? Come on. Offering van rides with free ice cream and free massages is a bad business. I don't see how that is. How is that a bad business model? Holy crap. All right. So, Daughters of Cain get some new stuff, or did they get the book finally? Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't keep up with a lot of Age of Sigmar. Oh, look at, it's the spell effects. The endless spells. Oh, I like the big bloody fist with the heart. That's kind of cool. The swords with all the blood coming off it, meh. And the big serpent, that looks cool as shit. It looks like he's melting. He's like emanating from the blood, and he's kind of coming out from the blood. It's kind of, we've seen that in movies before, where like, you know, it's just like a pool of blood, and he's like Freddy Krueger, and he's like, and he's coming up out of the blood kind of thing. Or maybe he's melting. I don't know. But either way, that's cool as balls. Balls. I'm talking balls here, people. That's cool as balls. Yeah. I'm not going to get this. This is not something I would get, but that snake would be a lot of fun to do up something for that snake. The bloody fist thing, you know, it's cool. The swords, yeah, I suppose it's cool. That snake, though, is cool as balls. Balls, I'm telling you. Dire chasm. That probably triggered a bunch of you, right? The dire chasm. The vampire duders. Yes. Now here we go. We're on vampire duders. And yeah, I like this dude. This guy's really cool. You know, I like that they maintained what they initially had established in the previous Warhammer world with the vampires. You know, leaning kind of heavily into the Bram Stoker side of things. I like it. Oh, this is a cool character. I like the hair. Although the way she has her sword position, wouldn't she just, like, if she was to do a quick slash with her right hand, wouldn't she just lop all her hair off? Or am I thinking too logically about these things again? But either way, that's cool as balls. No, sorry, it's not cool as balls. It's cool, though. I like the way they painted the hair on this character. It's a very dark, yet it has this green glow in it, which contrasts really nicely with that deep red. And the red of the gloves has that kind of like, they're almost like a red leather, like a shiny red leather, or I dare I say latex. I like this model. This is a really cool looking model. Am I going to go out and buy it? Not likely. Or this box set, I should say, because I'm pretty sure this is a full box set, right? This guy's kind of cool. He's like a very static pose, but I like just kind of just the stillness of it. Like he's on guard. He's straightforward. I've noticed too that in a lot of the Games Workshop painting that they've been pushing tighter transitions on things, especially like on flesh, because I can see there's quite a bit of work on the flesh. And yet they're still trying to, because like for a long time, it always seemed like Games Workshop, the way they paint the models, like for the, for the box art and stuff, they go about it in, like a good way to make it look really good. Yet it's a very, very achievable painting on the model. So as not to discourage people, right? And I think that's probably the right move, to not discourage people, because I mean, you want people to buy these and paint them up, and you don't want it to be, a huge thing for people to paint their models and to have them look pretty close to the box art, right? Yeah, I realize that there's people out there who, far more skilled, or even a bit more skilled, would, obviously be able to duplicate this no problem, but that's not the point, because you're always looking to entice new people, because that's going to obviously help expand your base, right? I like the face on this guy. This guy looks cool. I like the way they did the wings too. I like the inside's got a lighter color, the outside's got a deeper color. I like it. The only thing I'm not crazy about though is the way that edging on that mace. I'm not crazy about that. But everything else is superb. As far as the paint job's concerned, yeah. Like even like I can see like on his knee plate, on his knee guard, the one that's kind of his leg that's stretched out, you can see they use two different colors there to create that that non-metallic metal look on the model. They use that. If I was to guess, they used that ethermatic blue thinned out and used a bit of probably they probably could have even used the snakebite leather thinned out, and then just a little bit of like wildwood to push that shadow into that corner. Gave the entire surface another gloss or glaze of metallic, and then edged that bright silver. But you see how there's that deep shadow under the knee? That's deliberate. That's not light casting on the model. It's deliberate. Oh, and we're back. Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, I noticed that Games Workshop, like the painters have been, really kind of displaying more expertise as opposed to the past when they're showing, obviously more more achievable paint jobs. Cursed City. Cool. Oh yeah, Witch Duder. Yeah, and this chaos looking, or this cultist looking thing. This Witch Duder is cool. Can we, yeah, perfect. Yeah, I like this dude. He's pretty cool. He looks like he's into, he's got his gun's got a stake in it. He's got a goddamn harpoon gun. This guy's all about the vampires, hunting the vampires. Yeah, das is cool. Yeah, he's a cool looking model. He definitely looks like he likes messing people up. This is really cool. This almost has a, Guillermo del Toro type of vibe with that head and the fleshy and kind of the what is that word when somebody's really, really, like they're just skin and bones essentially? What's that word? Come on, somebody who's really smart. What's that word? I don't even have the chat up. I can't even see what you guys are talking about here. Greg Gerben, episode 330, cool as balls. Yeah. Ghost Star Man. I don't know if it's been said before, but Warhammer Underworlds has effing fantastic idea on the GW's part. A few unique models with great poses, special equipment to draw you into collecting an army. Genius. Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. No fucks. Emanciated? Yeah. Emanciated? Yeah, that's the word. Gaunt? No, not gaunt. Yeah, emanciated. Emanciated? Am I saying that right? I've heard the word a million times. Not being described to me, of course. Okay, that was it. That was the previews for the day, right? Was that it? Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll tackle this one, this gemstone. Maybe I'll take care of that tomorrow. I'll film that tomorrow. duplicating that look of gemstone. That's what I'm talking about. In case anybody forgot. But yeah. Awesome stuff. It looks fun. Yeah, Hanzo for the Lumineth. I think he's for Lumineth, right? Yeah. I think it's really cool. You know, I mean, a lot of the Age of Sigmar stuff has just been fantastic. You know, really, really fun. Titan Legions. I'm still waiting on Xenos. The Kill Team box. I don't know what the price is on that, but you know, it's a full game in a box with, you know, not a high model count, but I mean, it's Kill Team, right? So it's low model count anyway. And I don't know if those Space Marines are available yet. I assume that's kind of part of the rollout. Are Flayed ones available as well? All right, and the Sister Battle. Yeah. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm not a Sister Battle player or collector. You know, they're not really my jam. I would probably collect Sisters more of an auxiliary for, you know, like an inquisitorial type of force. For example, like if I had, you know, if I was theming my army for an Imperium force where I had an Inquisitor who was basically, you know, charged with whatever to, you know, go on a crusade kind of thing. Inquisitor, you know, he takes some Sisters of Battle, he'd take a couple Space Marines, or maybe Death Watch, whatever, right? And of course he takes a bunch of Imperial Guard, maybe some Stormtroopers, and you know what I mean? A whole smattering of Imperium type of stuff. I would include Sisters of Battle, just for flavor, you know, because, yeah, all spice, essentially is what I'm going for there. It's all about the spice. Emaciated, hooked on phonics worked for me. Emaciated. Dark Commission, episode 330. What do you mean we're out of Kraken? Release the skinny dude. Like film a Kraken? Film a Kraken. Anyway. So yeah, that's GW's latest. They did a big reveal today. What's today? The 23rd of January in the 21st century, year 21. So, you know, it's exciting for everybody out there who's looking forward to the Sister Battle War Machine Menoth thing. For everybody out there who's looking forward to Kill Team, getting their hands on some Space Marines and Flayed ones. The Flayed ones are cool, though. Now, are the Flayed ones and those Space Marines, are those available already? Or are they brand new, like, you're only going to get those in that box right now until, obviously, probably, like, whenever, like 6 months from the release date of that box set, right? Because who knows when that box is coming out. This is a preview, so it could be, like, a month, 2 months, 3 months kind of thing, right? Before that even gets released. And then, of course, Games Workshop, they'll probably be pumping out a whole whack ton of stuff, too, once everything kind of, you know, starts to reopen. I'd imagine Games Workshop will be going mad, you know, releasing stuff. I would imagine. I mean, you know. Emaciated? I'm still seeing all the different phonetic spelling of it all. I was just, emaciated. Yeah, that's the word, emaciated. When somebody's all, like Mr. Burns, right? They're all, you know, skin and bones. They're just skin and bones. It's like the Foo Fighters song. Skin and bones. Anyway. Ignore me. Sorry, I was going to pull up. Yes, because we will jump over really quickly here to... You going to do this for me? Oh, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. There we go. Yeah, we're going to jump over to a little segment that, you know, we've been trying to kind of keep up on, but not. And that's the Instagram side of things. and people using the hashtag way of the brush. Ooh. Some more Space Marines. Oh, I like the from Shaky Brush Minis. Real question though, is 20 Assault Intercessors enough? My head says yes, my heart says no. Blood Angel Assault Intercessors. Very, very cool. I have not even touched these models. I will eventually, but I'm in no rush. I like the way you did the flesh. I like the shaved head and 5 o'clock shadow. Awesome. Fantastic work there. That's fantastic work. Oh, we didn't give that a like. Let's give it a heart. A heart. A heart. Yeah. This is Shaky Brush Minis. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. I just wanted to see if there was multiple images. No, there's no multiple images. Okay. This one's from our good buddy Disco Mini Painter, excuse me. Some close-up pictures of the marble effect on the statue plinth, and also some work-in-progress pictures of when it was being done. I based it black, then used a dry baby wipe, pulled apart to create the strands. Oh, okay, baby wipe. Awesome. Yeah, I like that one. I've tried with the dryer sheet. I've done with for like scouring pad, pulling apart a scouring pad. I've done those kind of things before in the past. Baby wipe, yeah. I've never tried the baby wipe. I mean, I imagine it's probably similar to like the dryer sheet, but anyway. This was then airbrushed over white. The baby wipe needs to be removed while the paint is dry, and then a couple of strands removed, but then add the detail gloss varnish. Very, very cool. Yeah. And I also think a slight, either like a very light dry brush, just to catch the edges of the marble. Or deliberately coming in and just doing a bit of edging. A bit of edging. You know what I mean. Oh, I like the flowers. Oh, he's even giving us his work in progress pictures. Oh yeah, we gotta give this a like. There we go. Oh wow, that's really kind of cottony. Interesting. So are you just gripping it to maintain it? Because like something with this fine, and I kind of seen it in the end picture here, like it looks like there's a bit of distance in some areas, and so like the spray kind of goes around and you get like that really hazy kind of look. I mean, like, you know, if that's the kind of thing you want, obviously then keep doing it. But usually for like a marble pattern, like I can see like in the upper portion here where it looks like you had more tension, the effect is much tighter, if that makes sense. But yeah, dude, I dig that. You said it's a baby wipe? It's a baby wipe. Yeah, it yields a really nice result, though. I think also, like, while you were spraying, you could have also came in with some other tones. Like a slight, like, you know, a slight brown. Kind of a sienna. Thin, very, very thin, and just like mix it into the white, and just, you know, did that as well. Create some slight variation within the marble, because obviously, you know, not all marble is a stark black white. There are plenty out there like that, but, you know, just for a bit of, you know, tonal variations. But really nice work. Very, very cool. Oh, this is another picture of the finished product. Yeah, I like the marble effect. Very, very nice. Yeah, das ist gut. Das gut. I think a bit more oxidization in the statue. And on the ornament, that skull wreath thing above the roses. If you want. Just my suggestion. But very, very cool. Oh. This is mine. Just in case anybody didn't see that one. Did we see this one? Yeah, I did, because I already have a heart beside it. All right, okay. That didn't take as long. Okay, so anybody who wants to, you know, share what they're working on, and, you know, you don't feel like sending me an email, you can always use the hashtag Way the Brush. Not .com, but Way the Brush. Or you can use .com. It's not like I'm going to show up at your house and, fight you or anything like that. Where the hell am I? Greg German, you said emaciated. True in form. Emaciated? Emaciated. 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 Emaciated? James of Kent, shall we settle on skinny as shit? Yeah, let's just say skinny as shit is bone. Get that guy a sandwich. You know what I mean? David Brunfeld, what? No comments about your figure? Mine? About my figure? Like my figure or the figure? Well, we already know my comments about my figure. Kind of pear-shaped. And as far as the Lumineth character, what the hell is she called? Sinari? That was a lot of fun. There's only 2 more videos coming out. Patrons get access to it right now, so anybody who wants to be ahead of the curve, feel free to check those out. Of course, I have 2 more videos that have already been posted, and we're 2 weeks ahead right now. I'm trying to get to the middle of February so that I can release a bunch of other videos because I got stuff in the bank right now. But anyway, things got delayed. That's all I'm going to say. It's kind of messed up my whole procedure for this month. But anyway, neither here nor there. Greg German, you're name butcher after all. I am the name butcher. I am. And I'm just going to mispronounce everything. Sometimes I don't know if I'm doing it deliberately but it's really not important for you to know. It's important for me to know. What time we at here? Holy carmoles. You know what? We're doing pretty good on time here. We got through the GW reveals. Not that anybody really, was just like, Kris, you got to cover the GW stuff. It's like, no, I don't. I don't have to if I don't want to, Yeah. I'm trying to think what else we were going to talk about. There was something else I was going to talk about today. I don't know what it was. I can't think of it now. But we do have a few emails. Yes, we got a few emails to go. So you know what? Let's get to the emails. Let's stay on the ball, as it were. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down, because here it comes. Let's go with this one. Email time. Email time. Oh, it's done? I have to watch the little sound bar because I don't hear the sound of it. Anyway, this one is from our good buddy Bleep Bloop. Bleep Bloop. Bleep Bloop. Dear our beloved Monkey Lord, please accept my offering of painted mini models for the altar. Here are the Necron warriors and scarabs that I have got done to tabletop standard over the last couple of weeks, and then what has been painted overall for the last month or so. As per your last comment, I pulled the blue a little further along the highlight to desaturate a bit whilst remaining close to the old colors. Next up is the other warrior sprue and destroyers from the Indomitus set. CNC welcome. Hope all the monkeys are staying safe. Singing monkey praise. Bleep bloop. And so let's have a look at the Necrons. Here we go. Very clean. Yeah, I like the green glowy thingy. Now the green glow, are you using that new paint Tesseract glow? Is that it? I honestly bought it and I never used it yet. I should use it on the project soon. I don't know what. I haven't gotten back into the Necrons yet. As you may or may not have noticed that I've been taking a bit of a break from them. Yes, I like the blue. Very strong, bold. Like the metals. Yeah, really good work. Nice and clean. Just take your time, you know? That's all you got to do, right? Just take your time. It's an interesting choice with the flock. On the scarabs in the right hand, bottom, like closest to the right hand, I feel like it's kind of just thrown in there. I think you could have used it a little bit more sparingly. The one on the left is fine. And the upper one, it works well. Same with some of the other warriors. I see like that big tuft of whatever it is. Yeah, it feels quite large. I think I would have probably put those behind the Necron. Oh, these guys are the old school ones. Because they got glowy rods. Very, very cool. Got the whole thing going on. It's kind of, you know what, like, honestly, the mix of the old ones, the old Necron warriors with the newer ones, they don't feel out of place. Especially because, you know, you're color matching across the whole group. But, yeah. I like the way you did the Warden, too. I like how you did his gun with the element of black on it. I like that. Or is it just a dark metal? Either way, it's a like you got a brighter metal and then a darker color than the green elements. And the darker elements that you got going on help sell the idea of that green glow, right? Or the brighter green. Those little thralls, I'd probably do their eyeball lens. I don't know if you've done them or not, but yeah, I definitely would do the little green eye lens. Just something to bring some visual, something to bring the eye in on those guys. Same with the was it the Mancer, Plasma Mancer, Necromancer? I don't know what the hell he's called. Yeah, like as long as you unify color and you color match and you maintain a consistency. Oh yeah, I can see it on the Necron warriors on the right. You got the darker barrels. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, is nice. Because the warriors on the left, they don't feel out of place next to the ones on the right. Yes, the ones on the right are probably taller, have more details, you know, maybe a bit more love. I don't know. But the warriors on the left still fit, which is a good thing because, I mean, like, I'm sure there's tons of Necron players out there who saw the new Necron warriors and were like, well, I already have like 50 of these things. Do I really need more of these guys? And the answer would be yes. yes, you do. You need more. Pretty darn cool. Thank you, Bleep Bloop, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. I don't really have anything to add because, you know, you're color matching across them. You've got a really nice, clean aesthetic to them. You know, I think the orange basing or the brown basing material, you probably use it a little bit more sparingly because, like, the blue-green tufts that you have, you know, they're much smaller and a little bit more deliberate where they're being placed. Whereas, like, on the warriors, some of the ones that have the big brown tuft, I would probably situate that behind them and probably less. And that one scarab base, where it feels like it's kind of just, you know, thrown in there, and I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary. But good stuff. I like it. Thank you for sending that in. Awesome. I really don't have much more than that to add to that, really. Where are we? Dark Mission. La Meridianda have a couple of nice Ojibwe warrior models in 54 mil. I'm not familiar. You're going to have to send me a link on that one. Dark Mission. Send me a link on that. Let me have a look. No fucks given. I imagine Kris pronounces the name Aaron like Aaron. No, I know Aaron is Aaron, and Aaron is Aaron. Fire Drag 18. Any up and coming Kickstarters or games you are looking forward to? Any upcoming Kickstarters or games I'm looking forward to? Anything? Not really. I would love to try Aliens. Last time I was in, when I went and picked up Sonari from Max Aggression, he had Alien, and I was thinking about picking him up. And then I seen Ash painted up the board game pieces. I don't know if I'd go through the trouble of painting them up, but I mean, I'm sure everybody will be like, Kris, you got to paint them up, but it's a board game, right? And so yeah, Aliens. I'm seriously thinking about it. My son was actually like, "Yeah, I should pick it up, and we can play it." And so I might pick it up. I might. Aaron, he hasn't yet. Well, I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So as far as any other Kickstarters, no. Nothing, but I don't watch. I don't pay attention to Kickstarter. The last thing I supported on Kickstarter was Relic Blade's latest Kickstarter, which I would assume was a great success for him. And he's, I think, just finally starting to get around to getting everything together. So I'm looking forward to receiving that because I picked up a box, the 2-player box for it. And Dark Commission sent me that link. Where'd you send it? Oh, there you go. Let me have a look here. These guys look more Six Nations to me. They don't really look Ojibwe. Yeah, he doesn't really look Ojibwe to me. He looks more like Six Nations. Mohawk. Yeah, see, that looks more Mohawk. This guy, this Ojibwe, here, I'll go over to this site. Hold on, let me pull up the window. There we go. Yeah, this first guy. Yeah, he does not look like an Ojibwe to me. He looks more like Six Nations. Like Mohawk or Seneca, Huron. Any one of them folk. Of course, too, this looks more like somebody who'd watched Last of the Mohicans one too many times. Because, yeah, if you want to look at what a lot of Ojibways were dressing like, there's plenty of artwork out there. One of them is like the storming of Mackinac, the Fort Mackinac. Yeah, there's a lot of pictures of that one. That one's a pretty famous battle that took place in northern Michigan. Well, what is today northern Michigan. And yeah, basically a bunch of Ojibs hung out in front of the fort, waited until the soldiers, because they were playing lacrosse, and lacrosse, way back in the day, hundreds of players would take part in this. A lot of times as warriors, but anybody could play the game. And they're playing a big game, and there's a whole bunch of people around the fort near the main entrance. And it's women and children. Everybody's watching the game, and lacrosse games could go on for days, and people would die, which made it a really great sport, which is why we got hockey now, right? So as the soldiers are watching the game go on, and of course these games, people bet, and yeah, we're notorious for gambling, and soldiers were coming out of the fort to watch the game, and once the door was open and the soldiers were coming out of the fort, all the warriors, all the women and children had all the warriors' weapons and rifles and stuff, and yeah, they just grabbed them and they took the fort. As soon as they opened the door, they said, we're in, and we're in. They went in. Took the fort from them. Anyway, it's a good story. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Oh shit, I forgot their alien minis. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate though that what was the Alien versus Predator minigame? I can't remember, from Protos, I think was the company. It's unfortunate that one kind of bellied. But I mean, there's only so much room, I think, on people's plates for, for mini games. You know what I mean? And 40K, anybody who's into the GW side of things, they're pretty high priced already, and so and they're really fun. The games are fun. Lots of people are playing. Very popular, right? And so I think that uses up everybody's dollars. And it's like, oh, but I just bought a new Titan. But there's a new brand new game coming out. It looks fun. I'm not gonna get it because I want my Titan. You know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of stuff, right? Go Starman, my wallet cries in the distance. Scott rated him. Aliens is great. Get the expansion too. They do make the game better. Playing it today again. Cool. Yeah. I might have to. Aaron Siege, any thoughts on doing some vids on painting mechs from Battletech? Yes, I will. I'm going to paint some mechs from Battletech. I've had some thoughts as to what I would like to do something a little different than what others have done. Because, Kris has got to be Kris. And I don't like doing what's already been done. I like to do things from my own perspective and, my own take on it. And I like to do something different. I don't like to replicate, exactly what other people have done or even what other painters have done. You know what I mean? I might take an element that might inspire me. Maybe their use of color, not so much technique or, how they painted it or, you know what I mean? Like, nothing like that, but their overall color scheme is usually what will inspire me for something else. Not that model, but to another project, and I will employ that. And I did that recently with Jane Czar. Jane Czar was an inspired paint scheme from another painter, well-known painter, and what he had done with an entirely different model. And yeah, so it was kind of fun. I had fun with the Jane Czar. I'm happy with my Jane Czar. Will she see the tabletop? Probably. Probably. Reziel, I want to see Kris do a Gaslands conversion or two based on whatever he likes. Could be sweet. Yeah, I still have my Gundam to finish. Unfortunately, I put it in a box and then I have it under my desk. And same with my World War II kit, the tank, the Bulldog. I have that, and I put that back in the box, and I was like, oh, shit. And I picked up a bunch of, paints and stuff like that I was going to use on them. My Space Marine, my Bandai Space Marine, I still want to repaint that guy. I just recently patrons got the video today. I did a repaint on Grogu, so patrons get access to that right now. That won't get released for 2 weeks. So, yeah, if anybody really needs to know what I did on Grogu. Scott Reedham, I backed the Alien vs. Predator to the max. Worst Kickstarter experience I've ever had. Really? Why? I don't know what, again, I don't really follow what happens on Kickstarter and what people are doing on Kickstarter. So you have to give me details, Scott. And Dark Commission sent me another link. Yeah, see, again, these look like, yeah. Dark Commission sent me another link there for these guys here. A Moment in Time. And so it's not identified what nation these guys are from, but these guys look like they're Huron, or they look like Six Nations. Six Nations, a lot of them had this shaved head. A lot of warriors, obviously, but like a lot of Ojibways, yeah, we weren't really into the shaved head thing. So we often all had our full head of hair. Same with the people out in the prairies. They get referred to as the Sioux, but that's not correct. They're Dene. And Lakota as well. But anyway, yeah, it's an interesting looking piece. But I mean, it's not something that I'd go, that's something I have to paint because I feel culturally connected to it. I don't. Again, because they're not Ojibways. And this is post European contact. Again, it's not a genre that I would. I had an idea once. Well, not once. I've thought about it many times actually. That I would like to develop a universe, pre-contact, pre-European contact of North America in a war game setting. But yeah, I have ideas what I would like to do. I thought it'd be kind of fun. The overall mechanics, I don't know, because I'd like something that would be, detailed, but not clunky. And that's always a fine balancing act, right? Because you can go really refined, streamlined, right? Streamlined, rule set, something along the lines like similar to Warhammer 40,000 or Age of Sigmar, that kind of thing, right? Where there's it's more straight up die rolls, right? As opposed to unit complexity rules, environmental rules, then turn-based action rules, and you know what I mean, like a lot of rules on rules kind of thing, right? And get very detailed. Something that would probably be a bit more like a role play where you could pretty much just kind of go, oh, I'm just going to do this. And I don't know if a war game has ever done that. Aside from, say, like really old Warhammer, like Rogue Trader 40K, where you play the tabletop experience more like a role play game, but, not so harsh on the rules. But again, that always requires a GM. You always need a GM for that. So it always is a 3-player type of situation. Because if one side is the GM and you're playing against another person, right, it's kind of baloney because, they'll just go, oh, well, you can't do that, and yeah. Why not? Because I said so. Where the hell am I? James Kent, every time Kris goes through his unfinished project list, I don't feel so bad about my backlog. Oh, no. Hell no. People, for God's sakes. Man. You know what? I don't even want to... I was going to say, I was going to list off all my backlog projects that are on, and things that are like, I want to get to. It's like the next project I want to start and get to. I don't even want to do that because there's at least, off the top of my head, at least 15 projects right now that are just like I should be starting them today kind of thing, right? Never mind the shelves of stuff. I mean, like in my Bandai kits alone, I'm looking at, what am I looking at? 9? I'm looking at 9 just in my Bandai kits. I've got 9 projects that I want to get to that I haven't got to, and I still need more. I need more. Never mind Necromunda. Never mind my Deepkin. Space Marines. Oh, I've got Harlequins. Creature Caster. I've still got 2 kits I got to finish up on Creature Caster. Kingdom Death. 40K. Space Marines. Eldar. My Eldar collection. Never mind. My Eldar collection. Never mind my goddamn Phantom Titan. I've got to finish that. That model is actually not finished. I played with it for years. It is not finished. So yeah, I've got a metric ton of Oh, never mind my Necromunda. All my Necromunda terrain, because I want to build my Chaos Fane. God damn it. Yeah, there's a bunch of shit I got to get to. Oh, and all the damn Enforcers, because I bought conversion bits for them. For God's sakes. Oh, which reminds me, I got to buy corpses. Then, of course, all the stuff that I'm working on for tutorials. Because the tutorial stuff, it's been like a, trying to, merge them together, right? Try and get some projects and show tutorials on them. But, to do that, you're going to get basically gaps in what I did. So for anybody who's like really into beginning to end, like Sonari, I just finished Sonari. There's only 4 videos for it. There's some stuff I skipped over, and there's some steps in what I did. You know, basically it's just, you know, more layering and, you know, just taking more time with the things, but I didn't show everything. And a lot of times I don't show everything, you know, especially like cleanup, going around cleaning up stuff. I don't often show that because I feel that it's not necessary, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everybody needs to see how I do cleanup. And, you know what I mean? Like, but then I'm filming every aspect of it, and filming every aspect of a model takes more time, and it's harder physically, and it's harder getting all that film edited, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just more work to show everything rather than just let me just sit down and just hammer through, and you know what I mean? Like, I can finish that in no time, kind of thing. Not no time, but I'm not a fast painter. But anyway, I think you guys get my point. But yeah, I got a lot of projects to get through. Razia, I was getting ready to convert the McFarlane Assault Intercessor into a Blood Angel, and then I stopped because they announced a Blood Angel version with molded detail. Have to wait on that one now. Oh, really? I had not heard that there was going to be... Oh, wait, yeah, there was. Because there's a Sister of Battle coming out, right? From McFarlane. And something else. An Orc. Isn't there an Orc coming? Something like that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Rezia, if you have hair shaved, it can really be a pain, especially if you consider the shaving technology at the time. Not really. No, it's just a sharp thing. It's most likely what is it called? A bone awl? Use it for like hide scraping. Yeah, I'm sure that's what they use. They should use that same awl. There we go. Get that shit razor sharp. It's not hard. We like to think that our modern age, that, oh my God, how did they do it? Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's only convenience that has gone up. And that's only because convenience has pushed the consumer side of our technology, or what we've perceived as older technology, and it's only the convenience factor that has changed. The technology itself has not changed. Dark Commission episode 330. First Nation stereotyping will get you scalping. Will get you a scalping. Yeah, see? I get it. That's a joke. But, yeah. Scott Radom. Protos was the company, not proposal. Protos. Didn't I say Protos? Or did it sound like I said proposal? Propels? Heretic Scott, hey there. Hey, monkeys. What I miss? Not much. Holy crap, we're already at 1:30. I still got a couple more emails to do. Ghost Starman, good time hanging out today. Gonna head off to get some dinner while my current Nurgle duder dries. See ya, monkeys. Later, dude. And Ghost, where's the pic? When you come back in, if you tune back in, where's the pic? Where's you in your shirt? Was it a shirt? Yeah, it was a shirt. Yeah, I said a shirt. Anyway. No, never mind. I'm not going to say anything else. Fire Dragon Team, don't be like that, Kris. Show us your shame. Yeah, like if I did a video on it, it'd be like an hour-long video of just me. I got to get this done, and there's and the current project that I'm trying to get done. I obviously I can't show you, so, and that's kind of, it's not a big project, but yeah, I mean, you guys understand. Aaron Siege should create a channel on Discord. Post your backlog. Oh man, I think that would bum everybody out. Like, even just me talking about like all the things and like having a look at like all my shit. Oh, Blood Bowl. All my Blood Bowl, because I bought the second season of Blood Bowl. Never mind all of my bits boxes. I've got like I've probably got like a 2,000, 3,000 point Necron army still on sprue. Metal terrain. Oh, and I still have a bunch of War Machine stuff that I wanted to paint, but you know, nobody plays War Machine anymore. So, you know, lost the desire to even do that, right? I'm trying to think what else I got going on here. Tons of terrain. I have some Death Ray design stuff I haven't even touched yet. Yeah. And never mind tutorials on stuff. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Who was it now? Oh, I can't remember who sent me the box of models that had like the owl and everything in it. I still got that. Man, I've got tons of stuff. I've got tons. I'm probably due for a purge. That's probably what I should do. Is purge, not the stuff that people sent me. Like Grim sent me a bunch of paints. I've been meaning to do a video, you know, going through painting that. I have this wonderful sculpt from Savage Forge that I've wanted to work on for ages. I still have not gotten to this thing. This thing's still sitting on my desk here. His arms are, you know, assembled, but they're pinned. But you can probably see the pin hanging out there. I actually probably should repin this. Something stronger. I'm thinking probably get a brass tube and do brass tube through there instead. Just something a little bit more solid. But yeah, I got like this guy. He's like, he looks like a big catachin. He's holding like an orc head, and he's got like a big knife. I was gonna do the knife like in chrome paint and everything, and you know, I've got projects, man. There are all these sprues sitting on my floor here. I've got this guy still. I was all excited to get this guy, get him painted. Look, he's still in the package. He's still sitting on the spruce. In fact, there's a good layer of dust on it. Yeah, I got this guy here for my my corpse grinders. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff. Got a bunch. Lord Krabby editing my new video. Harry Scott, I'm trying to squeeze an email in at the moment. Trying to squeeze it in. I don't see it. Didn't send it yet. Nick Dumont, bone and shell and stone razors can get scary sharp. Though their edge retention is not great, easy to resharpen. Yes. Well, also too, I mean, like, you know, taking the time to actually resharpen, you know, a tool, I mean, was part of your day. Like, what else did you have going on? Like, for example, like Native Americans pre-European contact. Our days were pretty full, you know, living out life, preparing, because usually the year is all about, you know, preparation for winter, because winter is the hardest point in the year of life in North America, especially for like everybody, you know, around the 45 degree parallel. It's pretty hard. North America is pretty hard territory. The winters get really cold. The snow can get really deep, and yeah, you just straight up die. And yeah, the whole year was preparation. The only time that, you know, traditionally you had like any kind of free time for farting around and goofing off and is summer. Spring, you know, there's lots of prep work done because you got to get crops sowed, and you know what I mean. And yes, we did farm. You got to start all that shit. Summertime's about the only time, and usually that's when we usually ended up fighting wars. That's when usually wars took place, was in summer, because, you know, everybody has free time to wage war on each other. And, you know, if there was in fact a war, but I mean, you'd go many years without fights between, you know, neighbors and stuff. And then of course the fall, obviously the big hunts, you know, and going after the prey and stuff like that. And of course harvesting, right? Harvest season. And of course winter is, you know, pretty long here in North America, especially the further north you go. Winter lasts, like, it feels like sometimes damn near half the year. So, you know, it's a hard time. Ghost Starman Deluxe shirt pick soon. Don't worry. Anyways, bye. James and Kent, episode 330. It'd be an hour of shame. Yeah, That's kind of apt, isn't it? An hour of shame. To be like this show. 120 minutes of shame. Rezio, maybe you should purge the collection of stuff you can be honest about maybe not getting to. I have done that before, and it honestly feels good when it's done. Yes. But I've done purges like many times. I've purged many times. And it's kind of at this point now in my life, and that I'm really kind of making a living from doing this stuff, that I'm like, yeah, I really wish I hung on to a lot of my old shit, which is probably why I've been on a kick lately, reacquiring like the old painting guides, my old literature, and I like that kind of stuff. But yeah, Dark Commission episode 330, don't purge it, paint it. You know what, let's go with that. Don't purge it, paint it. It feels kind of apt, Don't purge it, paint it. God damn it. God darn it. Anyway. But yeah. So we'll run with that, unless of course somebody comes up with one better. Or unless of course I say something incredibly stupid, and that becomes the title of the day. Heretic Scott, as in trying to get some pics of some dudes I just finished. Oh, Fire Drake, that's good shame. A good look at future project. Kris's shame is a nice new segment. my pile of shame, my shame. Like why on earth would you guys want to see me up here? Kind of like, oh my god. What did I do? That's pretty much this show anyway. This show is my shame. Me debasing myself for your entertainment. All right, let's do another email. This one's from our good buddy Lord Krabby. Sup, party peoples and Monkey Lord Sensei. He's got the little monkey emote. I have currently been working on Death Guard for my channel. I have a lot to do still, working on Hellbrutes at the moment. However, the Hellbrutes were missing parts. eBay, go figure. Oh, they were an eBay purchase? Yeah, it takes your chances. You spin the wheel, man. You spin the wheel. Still, I got some free plastic crack from a friend, and he gave me his Death Guard from the starting box set of 8th edition. So I decided to put effort into it and showcase before and after pics of old Death Guard I painted long ago and the current ones I just finished. Hope you all doing well. Be safe. Make sure Grandfather Nurgle isn't making you guys too nutty. LOL. Lord Krabby. P.S. You can see the before and after pics from the models I did 2 years ago and the models I currently did now inside comparisons. Enjoy. Plus, there is a bonus model at the end. The sculpt is amazing. I'm not sure he did it with that kind of inflection. Maybe he did. I don't know. But anyway, amazing. Very cool. I like the color. Looks pretty straightforward. I like the purpley pink tentacles. I think the bone on the like the spikes, I'd probably push that closer to like a bone, like a light bone color, like a white. I don't know if you're using contrast paints or if you're using normal paints. I don't know. Looks pretty darn good though. We're a little far away, but that's okay. Yeah, das ist gut. Yeah, man. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm going to switch cameras here because I just don't want to show Krabby's email. There we go. So a couple more pics here. As far as like, any kind of critiquing, I don't really have any critique. Oh, here we go. I should just zoomed in more. Yeah, I like that. I think like a little bit more shadow in the teeth on his belly. Just create a little bit more separation there. So the teeth feel a little bit more menacing. But I like that. The Nurgle skulls. Very cool. Interesting choice with the spikage. Going with that really warm orangey yellow. I like what you're doing the skulls, though. I like that you're doing them like a solid green, almost like a plague green kind of thing going on. I like that. I like the flesh on his face. Or is this the same dude, just further along? Is this the same model? It's kind of more work in progress. Lord Krabby, you're messing with me, aren't you? Ooh, look at this guy. Very, very nice. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I like the standard duder. Oh, is this standard? He's got a Nurgle and he's sticking his face through. Oh, that's hilarious. I didn't know that. I didn't know that standard bearer, the Nurgling is sticking his face through it. That's hilarious. See, Nurglings are just too damn fun. Thank you, Lord Krabby, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. Yeah. I didn't really have anything to add. I think just, keep working through. I'm not sure if you were going for just purely tabletop or if you're, playing around with, technique and color and things of that nature. I think realistically just, getting them done, right? Because I know like Lord Krabby has been creating battle reports of the games. And so, I think realistically just trying to get them done and tabletop and, presentable, I think is the first goal. And I think, if you're looking to, create battle reports with these guys, definitely just keep doing that, because on camera, especially with all the color going on, everything like that. And then of course you get that's the next phase too, is for your battle reports, get your terrain looking just as good as your models. Then it'll be much more visually satisfying, for your games. So yeah. Where am I? Aaron Siege. Shame, you mean like picking up the starter box for a game when it came out and having it on your to-do list and the game is out of production. Dark Age. Right, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Lord Krabby. Not just tabletop, but I will do very good one soon. Try my absolute best. I may do Morathi model. Oh, just for the art. Well then, yeah, if you're painting just like for, play with color and take your time, then yeah, don't rush through it then. Take your time, right? Play with the color. Use a palette or wet palette, right? If you're going to get into some fine color transition, do some color mixes, right? Keep your paint thin so that if you are going to do gradients of color, working in thin layers so that you're not, applying, like a mixture between the two, laying it on kind of heavily and then do another mixture and then do another layer. And you know what I mean? And you'll see like the paint builds up really heavily, and yeah, don't do that. Work in thin layers, thin gradients, When you start working your paint in thin layers like that, you start to see how glazing becomes a thing, and how glazing, especially when working on small details and creating fine transitions and such on small areas, is pretty much the optimal way to go most of the time for most things. Small details, you just want to glaze them. Once you start really kind of mastering, a wet on wet blend, how you can really achieve a broad transition of color on a surface. Like say, for example, like Space Marine armor. Doing a wet on wet blend on Space Marine armor is very, very quick to achieve, to create a nice gradient. If you use a retardant, you have more time to finesse the blend, but otherwise, it is a very efficient way of quickly creating a blend. You can always come in later on and add a dry brush or add a glazed highlights or even just a layered highlight, you know. Glazing and layering are essentially the same thing. You know, a lot of people, you know, treat them like they're two separate things. But as far as the technique is concerned, putting a layer of paint down and then another layer and creating your gradient like that, that's essentially what you're doing when you're glazing. It's just the difference being the consistency of the paint, right? So glazing is just layering. And if you're just simply layering your highlights on, keep going. And when you start working with your paint in thinner and thinner consistencies, you start to realize how people glaze with the paint, right? And so, yeah, that's all it is. Again, it's painting. It's not rocket science. It's not, you know, it's not a mystery. It's not a mystery. These are all pretty basic, you know, like when you think about, like, say, for example, even dry brushing. Dry brushing is essentially a layering technique. You're layering the paint onto the surface. And if you work in multiple dry brushing steps, going from a deep color and building up to a brighter color, or darker, doesn't really matter, you are layering that paint on top of each other. Just you're using a very dry brush and you're allowing just a little bit of pigment to catch the surface, but it is a layer of paint, right? So that's all it is, right? I mean, wet blending is essentially different than layered paint, right? Because a layered paint obviously is a layer on top of a layer on top of a layer, versus wet blending, when you lay the paint down, you grab another color and then you blend the two together, right? That's the difference. But like dry brushing essentially is a layering technique. There's layering, highlights, and then of course there's glazing, which is essentially is a layering technique, right? Whereas two brush or feathering is kind of like a two brush method, but it's really one color. I mean, you can feather two colors together, and essentially the feathering process, the technique itself, is part of the two brush blend or the blending technique, whereas you're just doing it with one color. Sometimes you're doing it with a medium. You can wet the surface, do the paint, and then blend that out. And you're basically blending the color into the water or the clear medium, whatever, right? You can do it that way as well. And if you have a retardant or if the paint has a slow dry time, you have more time to finesse that blend. And that's all it is. That's all it is. It's, again, to get really good painting results on your miniatures and achieving really nice blends and things of that nature, things that obviously make you the envy of the painting community, it is spending more time finessing and finagling those aspects of creating your transitions of color. And that's really it. It's really it. You know, if you're new to this hobby, what are the three things Kris talks about all the time? The three fundamentals, right? Assembly and preparing your model, priming, and of course the base coat, right? Mastering the base coat is important. Why is mastering the base coat? Because when you're getting used to thinning down the paint, working from a palette and things of that nature, and knowing how to lay a nice smooth base coat down onto a model without obscuring details and building, having brush marks and things of that nature, getting a smooth paint job, just the brush, not airbrush, but just the brush, right? Very, very important. And once you start to really master that, then these other aspects of painting start to become very apparent. And you realize, oh, when I'm working with my paint in a thinned out consistency like this, I can do that for layering. I can do that for glazing. When I'm working with the paint in this capacity, very, very thin on a brush, I can catch just the edges of things, and then some dry brushing becomes very apparent. And you know what I mean? Like all these aspects. Holy crups. Killer whale.
Hey Kris, a question. If I want to do bright brass, should I use Retributor Gold or brass? Scorpion as base coat. Skull Crusher brass and Stormhost dry brushes after and Snakebite leather glaze to finish.
Going for a brass, finishing with that Snakebite leather actually sounds like a really cool idea. I would caution though, if you like your brass to be nice and shiny, like having a lot of lustrous metallic shine to the finish, the contrast Well, if you mix it with the medium, it should retain that the semi-gloss. It's just if you use Lamian medium to thin the snakebite leather out, because if we're talking about snakebite leather contrast paint, well, snakebite leather is only contrast paint now, right? Yeah, it's only contrast. So anyway, if you use Lamian medium to thin it down, it will finish matte and it'll kill that metallic shine. If that's what you want, if that's the kind of result you want to, dull down the finish, by all means go for it. But if you want a nice metallic luster, you want to preserve the glossiness or the semi-gloss, the satin finish, right? Contrast medium has a bit of a satiny finish to it, so if you use contrast medium to thin the snakebite leather down, it should retain that semi-gloss finish, which will give you a nice shiny result. I like that aspect. Using Skull Crusher brass. I don't have Skull Crusher brass, or do I? I think my brass is like brass scorpion and something other. I can't find them right now. All my metallics sit on my desk. I don't have them on a rack or whatever. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. So yeah, again, thank you for the super chat there, Killer Whale. If you want to do a bright brass, Retributor Gold and Brass Scorpion as the base coat, I would probably go with Brass Scorpion. I like your idea of the Skull Crusher Brass, which I'm sure is the mid-tone brass, with a slight, like the Stormhost Silver, very, very minimal. Like if you've got a really nice soft dry brushing hand, like you've got your dry brushing technique down, or using a very, very thin amount of Stormhost Silver and just do just the edges of things. I don't know what you're painting, but let's pretend it's armor. Yeah, and just doing like just the corners, not a full edge around the detail. Just, pick a direction, right? If it's a bright silver going upwards, or if it's a bright silver at the bottom. And then if you come in with that snakebite leather thinned out on top, it should yield you some really nice results. It will look a bit closer to gold, but brass in reality looks a bit like gold. So having that bright yellowy tone to it. Now I realize with those paints, with Skull Crusher and with Brass Scorpion, because I have Brass Scorpion. I don't know if I have Skull Crusher. Maybe I do have Skull Crusher Brass. But anyway, yeah, definitely give that final shift of that brown snakebite leather on top of your transitions. You could also use you could even use gloss Agrax Earthshade. You could even use gloss thinned out Reichland Flesh Shade. The Reichland Flesh Shade? Is that what it's called? Even that new Necron one. What the hell's that new Necron one? Cryptek Armor Shade? That actually would give you a good result as well. That alone on top of metallic gives you a dark, not brass, it's more of a bronze, but thinned out, applied on top of that brass, could give you that deeper tone. And it finishes gloss, so it's going to preserve that metallic finish. So, yeah. Definitely. I'm not 100% sure though. Like with Retributor Gold, it will push towards more gold, whereas with the Citadel Brass Scorpion, I know it has it's more, they push more of a bronzier brass finish, right? Whereas Skull Crusher Brass is very brassy. it's the brassiest brass you could find. And you love the finish of contrast on top of metal. It's a bit satiny, and that's what you want. Yeah, okay, well then yeah, I would go for that. I would thin the snakebite leather down with contrast medium, because it'll finish with that satiny finish, rather than using Lamian medium, because Lamian is very matte when it dries, so it will dull that down. And if your goal is to have a nice brassy metallic, but like nice and deep, and especially if you're using the snakebite leather, because if you do say a few transitions of color, you'll do let's say the entire detail, and then you push it down towards that yellowy brown, and then you with the same consistency mixture again of snakebite leather, and you go halfway down the detail. You know what I mean? Like you could just lay brass scorpion or skull crusher brass, do an edge of that Stormhost silver, or mix a bit into your base color just to bring it up a little bit, not all the way to a silver, but just introduce silver and do that edge and create that highlight, and then use snakebite leather and just 2 layerings, you know what I mean? Like you do the entire detail and then half the detail, but allow a bit of that darker brown to fall within those recesses, and you'll create that transition. And in fact, if you push the directions of it, so if you push it darker going upwards, you will go for a bit of a non-metallic metal look with true metallics, right? So you see it a lot these days, and especially in like a lot of Games Workshop examples, where they'll go and they'll push those shadows upwards, like the deeper tone going upwards and getting brighter towards the bottom, pushing that kind of non-metallic metal look, but using metallics. You can do the same thing. And so then once you've done that with your glazings of snakebite leather, you can always come back with, say, a fine mixture of, say, skull crusher brass with a bit of Stormhost silver mixed in as an edge highlight and reinforce that metallic look. Does that help, Killer Whale? I hope that helps. Dark Commission. Kris's 3 rules for miniature painting: like it, buy it, and then stick it into the pile of shame for 7 years. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not a very complicated creature, so you know, it is kind of easy to figure out, you know, my madness. Let's do another email because we should and we shall. Fucking window on. Here we go. That's great advice. Thanks a lot. Awesome. I'm glad that was helpful. So let's jump into your email now. This one is, hey Kris, wanted to send you this Skitarii Vanguard for review in time for today's stream. Tried blending the shadows on the cloak via mini layering. Yeah, see, like, again, when you're glazing, mini layering is kind of, I guess, I assume that's what you're talking about, is, yeah, minimal layers. But it's just glazing. And a wet palette paint mixing, and painted the metals with contrast glazes after the highlighting. Not entirely happy with the color scheme, but still pretty proud of this guy. Tell me what you think. Cheers, Whale. And so let's have a peek at this Skitarii Vanguard. I gotta change windows. There we go. Can we zoom in? We can zoom in. Yes, I like the fine control. I like the work on the cloak. Yeah, I like it. The shadows on that cloak on the elbow, I don't know if that was intentional. It's a little too dark. It's a little too, obviously, too abrupt. I would push that back. But like what you've got going on the bottom of the cloak, like on the sleeve, right? You see the harsh gray? Yeah, that doesn't need to be there. Oh, excuse me. Unless, of course, you're not done. This is still work in progress. Then, you know, keep going. The work on the cloak, though, I can see the transitions you got going on there. Very nice. And the helmet, I like the edging. You could also push that a little deeper if you wanted to. Again, it might be really contrast. It's just the way the lighting is kind of blowing that out a bit. I don't know, but it's clean. I like the metallics. I would. It'd be nice if there was a little bit more separation. If you use a little deeper, you know, if you use like a null oil gloss or even just regular null oil, depending on which way you want to finish that silver. I have no idea. Picking out that icon on his chest. I would probably pick out that icon on his chest in a pure white and black, kind of like the Mechanicus symbol. Otherwise, yeah, it looks really good. The little eye lens on the shoulder, I like that. Going for yellow, I like that. That's fun. Oh, is that it? Oh. Yeah, it's really nice work on the cloak and the armor. Obviously, those are the first things that stand out the most. Yeah. And when you're working with the paint in thin consistencies, like I said earlier, like, glazing becomes much more apparent. And so when you get used to working with the paint in thinned out consistencies, then again, like I said, your ideas as far as how glazing works and how far you can push a color before it kind of becomes like really kind of runny and goes everywhere, that becomes much more apparent. Yeah, I noticed on the shadows on the sleeves, yeah, it is a little abrupt. It is a little abrupt. Nothing wrong with it, just I think you could push it back further. I think also, like if you're looking to like I don't know if you're doing these for tabletop and you just want to get them done, then keep going. However you're doing it, keep going. But if you are just doing this one model and you want to paint it up to look really pretty and you want to spend some time on it, then you might want to start experimenting with a wet on wet blending. And doing fabrics and stuff like that are really fun opportunities to play with technique. Maybe you want to get yourself a retardant. I often will demonstrate Vallejo acrylic retardant, mainly because all these paints we use in miniature painting are water-based acrylics, and Vallejo, it is good. I like it. I've been using it for, this is like the third, fourth bottle I've gone through. And I use this stuff, not all the time, but whenever I want to do some blends or I'm demonstrating some blends and I want longer working time with the acrylic. Now, this does not change the acrylic to, dry times like days, like regular oil paints. Because oil paints, they can take days, it can take a week. Sometimes it takes longer. All depends. And this just gives you just more working time. And if you work in thin layers and you thin it out, like when I was working on the Scenari model, I used retardants to help with just the feathering. That's all I was using it for, is just so that I could lay it down, build up the colors, finesse a few things, and then just feather out some areas. And that's all I did, really. That's all I used it for. It wasn't really so that I could mix colors together. It was just so that I had longer working time so that I could control my feathering. And, and that was it. And that was the only reason I used retardant. It wasn't I did use it like on the, spoiler, on the veil, because I used two different grays and I wanted them blend, and I also wanted to lay it down, but also because I have a longer working time, I could feather off. In fact, I could just draw off the excess, right? So that was the only reason I was doing that. It was just a means to an end, And all the time when we are talking painting all the time, there are many ways to get to an end result, right? There's with painting, it's not always one way to achieve something. There's many ways. And so when you open yourself up to, playing with many techniques and not being afraid to play with these techniques and begin to master them, it opens up so many possibilities. And of course, once you have, you even start to play with different techniques, your confidence level goes way up exponentially as you master glazing, dry brushing, wet blends, feathering, and all these different buzzword techniques that we all throw around all the time. Your confidence level goes up, and so that when you look at a new model and you go, oh, okay, I could probably go this way about it, I could probably, and of course it's not just one technique for an area, right? I mean, you can start off an area by wet blending it and then finishing it off with a slight dry brush or doing a glaze highlight or, finishing, you know what I mean? Like, you just employ many different techniques to get to your end result. And every model is, for somebody who's brand new to this hobby, it's all like a Rubik's Cube that's already all scrambled up. And you're like, where do you begin? Right. And, and that's the way it seems. And once you have a really solid understanding of all these techniques, you don't have to be a master in them, but you understand how to go about doing them. And you are starting to experience some success with those techniques. Yeah, that Rubik's Cube, you're like, oh, I can see how I can solve it. And I can just go, you know, and go about it that way. That's a Rubik's Cube solving, by the way. It sounds like a heavy bass line. Anyway, that was just my point, is that you no longer really kind of like are scared to take on any kind of project or any color, because you know that, you know, with your technique. And again, like I said, once you start experiencing some success, you know, with your wet blendings and your dry brushing and your glazing, and, you know, you are far more confident in your ability to take on these projects and go about, you know, well, how did they do this? And of course, when you start really kind of examining really well painted miniatures, you see how they went about it. And you can see, oh, I can see he did some stippling here, and then he did a quick blend. He would glaze this one up to maintain, you know, the angles here, and you know what I mean? And, you know, you really start to appreciate when you can see the brush strokes of the artist who painted a miniature. You start to really appreciate the brush strokes, because you can see what that artist did to bring forth that paint job, that final result. And when you see a lot of airbrushing, you're like, oh, you just airbrushed the hell out of it, you know. And it's like, I get it. It's an efficient way to get things done, especially when you're, you know, got a bunch of them. But then you really start to appreciate the brushstroke, which is why, you know, when you go to a gallery and you look at the artist's painting, and that's why so much emphasis is on brushstroke, because you can see their hand, and you can see the way they snap at the end of a stroke, and you can interpret that in certain ways, because were they in a hurry, or is it to denote, you know, an emotion that these areas here are hurried up. And so then you start to see the artist in the actual finished result. Now that's for big canvas pieces and big art pieces like that. And that's usually where, you know, obviously, you know, that's also the viewer interpreting, you know, the finished result of a canvas piece. Miniature painting, we usually don't go that deep, which again, I mean, I go back and forth on the conversation of, is miniature painting art, or is it just a fucking hobby, right? Is it a craft? I go back and forth on that subject, not back and forth like what you might be thinking, or maybe even some of you hoping. I'm just being an ass at this point now. Anyway, oh god, I don't even know what the hell you guys are talking about here. Killer Whale, I'm already in love with glazing. Awesome. On the dude I am painting right now, I'll probably use it on the coat. Cool. Yeah. Again, you know, it's all about seeing opportunities to experiment. And like the cloak on the fabric, those are awesome times for playing with glazing, playing with layering, playing with feathering, playing with blends, you know, different ways of blending, wet on wet, whatever, right? Again, when you are looking to expand your knowledge, the first part of it is, you know, seeing the opportunities before you, you know. And that requires a lot of imagination. Fire Drag 18. My shame is more. Every morning, a priest outside my house rings a bell and shouts, shame! Although they may be about something else. Yeah. All right. I don't know. You guys are talking tough to each other. I don't know what's going on here. Dark Commission and Scott are exchanging. The shots are being fired. Shots are being fired. We got a code 13 going on here. I don't know. Killer Whale. Miniature painting is more art than the literal canned feces that the art world produces. Yeah, I don't know about that. Again, like I am in serious question of whether we're going to ever see any miniature painted from any sculptor in an art gallery. Right? Because really great art changes our understanding of the world. They make us call into question certain things in protest or in alliance of. What miniature does that? What miniature makes us question our very stance on a subject? Is there a miniature out there that does that? I'm seriously asking, is there? If you know of an example of a miniature that, or whatever, that takes a stance and draws people in who are not even in this world, like the miniature painting world, and draws them in, then yeah, we are talking about actual art then. Otherwise, again, I go back. Miniature painting is not art. I can see how it's art. I can see how it's not art. Again, I kind of rely on you guys, as I do for most things, help me understand this, because, I'm sure somebody out there has insight onto this that I would be very beneficial to me in some way. Terracotta, episode 330. Appreciate the stroke. I think that was my handle that's my new handle for gaming. Deep stroke. David Brunfeld. Is there any miniature that would be in a museum since they are mass produced? That is not art. Right. That's exactly my point, right? What miniature isn't mass produced that you would consider art, right? I mean, can something that is mass produced be art? You would assume so, right? But anything that was originally created as art, being mass produced, that always happens. But is there ever anything that is mass produced that becomes art? I realize, yes, sometimes there is like the art that involves a toilet, right? Well, a toilet is mass produced, but it's incorporated and it's making a statement about something, and it's usually incorporated with other elements, right? And sometimes a can of soup, but it's the meaning, it's the subject matter, it's, you know what I mean? So, is there an example? Yeah. Lord Krabby, art is beauty, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Sure. But that also speaks to your own perceived reality, right? And art, typically, really good art, typically engages many people. Where many people will reach a consensus whether it's good or it's bleh, right? But many people will feel it necessary to say something. So in fact, that piece of art engaged with you and made you like it or hate it, right? It becomes controversial. I realize a lot of people, think it means something bad. It's not. It just means that it begins a conversation, right? There's not a lot of miniatures out there that engage the populace as a whole, right? World famous artists, yeah, you're talking about the soup can. Well, he just showed a fucking soup can, right? He painted a fucking soup can, but you're talking about it. What miniature does that? That just people just start talking about it. Like people who are not even involved in miniature painting, who are not involved in this wargaming, who are not in this ecosphere, right? You tell me. I don't know. George Hintz, Andy Warhol. Yeah, the soup can. That's what I'm talking about. Heretic Scott, Sergio Calvo's dioramas and miniature painting in general, I think, can be appreciated from people outside the hobby. It's maybe not the same as what you see in art galleries, but his work is very realistic and draws your attention. Sure. But again, I'm talking, it goes into art because people outside of the ecosystem can still appreciate it. It goes into a gallery because people go, oh, yes, this is a fine example of this. Or this was in protest of this, or this was in alliance to this. This was to draw attention to this. That's what art does. Good art does. It starts conversations. Unfortunately, I have not seen anything other than maybe one example that was controversial and was starting conversations. And in fact, people became very scared of this and so shunned it. And I bet you some of you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the diorama that showed Imperial Guard raping an Eldar. That was a very interesting piece. It was a bold choice. I think the colors used on it were not in congruence with the message of what was being told, other than what was the message, and that could be interpreted many ways. But again, it started conversations, and then people are just like, oh fuck, that's awful. Don't depict that, right? But it starts conversation. Now, I'm familiar with Sergio's work, and Sergio does really great painting. But is any of what he produces, I think, going to be, in the Louvre? No. Not. I mean, I'm not 100% familiar with his work. Now, the work that he maybe creates on canvas or illustrations, or maybe he sculpts, I don't know. Those would be more likely. In combination with the sculpting and the painting. I don't know. I don't know if he does his own sculpts and, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't think it is a question of miniature painting being an underground art form, because miniature painting has been around for a very long time. So, I don't think that's the question. I don't think it's challenging to the populace at whole, right? And of course, it's heavily commercialized. That could also be it too. Scott Radham, I'm out playing with aliens and the family. Dark Commission, catch me on Discord and we'll settle this. Maybe do some swapping. Dark Commission, there's a small gallery in my hometown. Larger scale fantasy and sci-fi figures and busts would fit right in. Would they fit right in? Are they currently being held there? Sure, they could fit right in. Sure. But are they? Are they already, are there any art galleries out there who want to display painted soldiers? Is there? David Brunfield, what about a complete conversion done? Would that be art? Sure. Again, I flip-flop between back and forth, miniature painting being art and not art. I mean, again, because if you go by the whole broad brushstroke of everything is art and everybody is an artist, then yes, it's art. Sure. But again, if everything is art and everything we create is art, then nothing is art, right? If everybody's special, then nobody's special, right? You get that? So, the Bad Edge. Woo-wee, Kris. This is turning into quite a heavy subject matter. Well, Bad Edge, I think it's been a while since I've read that name, so I don't know how often you tune in, but yeah, it's always, holy shit, it's 20 after 2. I think I got one more email to do. You guys got me talking here. Got me ranting again. Let's hurry up and finish up the emails. And yeah. David Brunfield, I meant museum worthy. Would it be museum, a conversion? Sure. Anything. But again, it's got to be the subject matter. It's got to get people talking. People have to go, oh, it draws people attention. People who are not even in the ecosphere, right? Who are not wargamers, who have a passing familiarity with this field, and then they are going, holy kermoles, would you look at that? Or, by God, that just, that kind of thing just gets my goat, right? If it provokes in either direction or both directions and engages people, that's good art. Does miniature painting engage people who are outside of this realm? If it did, it would have done it by now. Because miniature painting is not new. Miniature painting has been around for a very long time. Scale modeling has been around for a very long time. So you tell me. You tell me. You guys give me examples. Because I've been in this hobby for a long time, and so far it's just a hobby. Silent 82 Hill, a new Warhammer Quest game, looked amazing. Can't wait to see it. Yeah. There's a new one on the phone. I was thinking about starting up. But yeah. The Bad Edge. Catch up every week, Kris. Dark Commission. I think what is art was missing from the Big Bang. Swap for quarks, protons, and other unimportant stuff. It's human. Art is one of the few endeavors that is entirely human. It's important and yet unimportant, right? It is a contradiction, art, because it has the capacity to enlighten and not, to engage us and yet not, to be something minute and special and yet completely everywhere and can be completely surrounded by it, right? Art is truly a human endeavor, and it is special. Art is special. Does that mean everybody's special? I don't know. Again, we're mixing into philosophies and such, so But anyway, this next email is from THSTH, the Heretic Scott. Howdy, Kris. Here's a few pics of my most recent cultist editions. I have started to lean more heavily towards grimdark look with my models, which I have been really enjoying. I don't want to go true grimdark, as I find it being a little lacking in color. A lot of conversion work on these dudes, as I'm always looking for ways to make the GW models look unique and more personalized. I used the Gene Stealer box and some parts from the Blackstone Fortress Cultist box, as well as some accessories from Cromlech. Is that how you pronounce that? Cromlech? Anyway, I even gave your liquid in a bottle tutorial a shot. The liquid was actually meant to depict soul energy in line with my army's theme, but I guess it can be interpreted however you wish. Let me know what you think. Heretic Scott. Heretic. A heretic. Anyway. Now is this one that image? Let's click. Or is it? I don't know. We'll click this one. Oof. Nope. Oh, look at these guys. I really like your work on the cloaks, on the cloth on that leader dude. I like the blood splatter you got going on that sword. I like the lamps. I like that low energy, that kind of glow out of them. Clean. I like the horns. It definitely is a grim dark feel. I like the work on the guy's stubber. the heat scorching. Oh man, what the hell is that called again on the gun barrels when they discolor? I like to work on the flesh. They have that slight purpley hue to them. I like the gun. It's got that little bit of rustiness to it. I like that. Yeah, and the armor, the shoulder armor's got a little bit of rust going on. Really solid painting, man. This guy's freaky as hell. Is this a conversion with that headpiece, or is that sculpted? I don't know. I know you were doing something with your Necrons, and you were doing like some green stuffing. Is that green stuff on that, like the way the cloth is billowing over his shoulder like that? Did you sculpt that? I like the heat treating on the barrel though. I like that look. It goes a bit far up the barrel. I probably wouldn't have gone quite as far, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I like your work on the cloak. You've kind of gone about it in two different ways. It looks like you're doing a bit of a stippling, and you were also doing like a straight brush stroke. Very, very interesting choices. Again, you know, I like when I can see the brush strokes, even when you do, you know, like fine gradient colors and stuff, you can still see the brush stroke. I still like that because it gives the personality, right? And as you expand as a painter and developing your own style, you know, we're going to look at these miniatures and go, oh, we know exactly who painted that. You know what I mean? And I think that is the biggest thing. I really like this piece, by the way. I like this guy. I think a little bit more prominence could have been pushed on the eye holes, but otherwise, nah, it's really great. It's haunting. It's scary. He's almost got like this Grim Reaper aspect to him. I like that. Plus, too, I mean, guys in pointy hoods scare the shit out of me anyway. So, you know, yeah. Yeah, and if things would have gone his way, I'm sure there would have been more of those guys walking in the streets, these guys in pointy hoods, lynching people. Fucking craziness, eh? Anyway, yeah, so thank you, Heretic Scott, sending that in. Awesome stuff, yeah. I like that one. Yeah, it's green stuff? Okay, awesome, yeah. No, I like that. I like that dude. I think, yeah, just a little bit more attention to those eyes to bring that forward. Really kind of, you know, kind of really exaggerate it, right? But really nice, subtle rusting on the metals. I like those, you know. Again, like, overall, I think it was really fantastic. I mean, we really should do a look back on some of you guys who I know have been around for a long time. I know, like, Heretic Scott has been around for a long time. And, like, see some of the really early pieces versus your latest efforts, you know? Like, even Scott Radom. I know Scott hasn't been around that long. I think the last year or so. You've been following along. And I'm seeing a shift in your painting. And I'm seeing it in Heretic Scott as well. Some of you guys, you know, I'm seeing, like, these, you know, I'm seeing growth, you know, mastery, right? It's very, very cool. Yeah, Heretic Scott, I nearly went for a green glow coming from the inside of the hood. Oh. Yeah, that'd have been different. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that'd have fit in with the rest of it, right? I mean, it would definitely would have added to a haunted kind of look. But I think if you just went a little bit brighter, whatever that base tone was on the hood, if you just added a little bit more white or a little bit of like a bone color, just went a little bit further up, doesn't have to go all the way to a white, but a little bit more up, and just brought a bit more attention to those face holes, just to really kind of illustrate that, you know, that's some freaking hood and some dark soul is underneath there, you know. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Fire Drake 18. Geez, I'm curious to see what was the first miniature I sent you. Yeah, exactly, right? All of you guys. I mean, all of you guys that have been around for a long time. I know, like Heretic Scott, Fire Drake, you know, even the Bad Edge. I don't know if I don't know, Bad Edge, have you ever sent in pictures before, Bad Edge? I know you've been around for a long time. Greg Kerman. Greg was another name. What was the other name before? I can't remember. G squared? Was it G squared? Anyway. Can anyone tell me what those figures are from? Those are Gene Stealer cultists, or conversions. And he used bits from the Chaos Cultists from Blackstone Fortress box game set. Although I think you can buy those cultists separately now, right? I think. Right? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway. I'm rambling at this point, and we're already 32 minutes OT, so that means we are done for the day. If you're brand new to this hobby, you want some help, help with technique, color schemes, whatever, maybe you just want to show off what you're working on, send your emails to Kris@wayofthebrush.com. If you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send them off as links to other sites, you know, like, I don't even know. Is PhotoBucket still a thing? I don't even know if they're still around. But anyway, you know what I mean. Don't send them off as links to other sites. Send them as attachments in the email. And I will read them on the show. If you're commission painting service, you want to drum up some extra exposure, you want to just show off your services, or anybody who just wants to show off their work, feel free. And of course, also use the hashtag #WayOfTheBrush if you're on Instagram, if you don't feel like sending me an email, because I am going to continue to try and, you know, show the hashtag on the Instagram side of things, just because, you know, I also do like the Facebook thing. If you guys want to share on the Way of the Brush Facebook, I have the Way of the Brush sharing is caring. You can post there as well. Feel free. You know, again, there's all sorts of ways you can share and, you know, let me know what you're working on. And, you know, if you need help, of course, you can always at me and, you know, say, hey, Kris, help me out. Is this a good way to go, or should I go with this way, or, you know, whatever. If you want a little bit of help, feel free. That's why I do this. That's the entirety of why I do this. Is I create tutorials to help you guys and educate and inform, and, you know what I mean, and maybe inspire and sometimes entertain. It's why I do what I do. It's to help you guys. It's all about you guys. If you guys didn't want help, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd go do my own thing. I'd create my own projects and paint my own models, and I would never show you guys because they're mine. They're all mine. Anyway. Also in the description below is a link for wayofthebrush.com, central hub of all this silliness. Has links to all the social medias as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling 24/7 there. And of course, you'll find links for our t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt, or find in the description below as well. T-shirt, help the cause, help me, and also look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. And of course, look ultra sexy as well. I mean, who doesn't want to look ultra sexy? And Way of the Brush t-shirts, yeah, that's how you're going to do it. Ultra sexy. Like, seriously. Other people are going to be oh my God. Yeah. That person there? Sexy. You're going to, yeah, you look hot. Seriously. I'm serious. Like, we can go ahead and I can show you guys all the graphs you want on how people's sex appeal increases by wearing a Way of the Brush shirt. I can show you the graphs. I have the data. I was about to say, teenage pregnancies is on the rise. If you buy yourself a t-shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt. I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also wayofthebrush.com. And also you'll find a link for Patreon. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without your support, this channel just would not continue. So a huge thank you. And everybody else who's recently joined, welcome and huge thank you. And of course, there are varying tiers of support, so click whatever makes sense to you. And a huge thank you to everybody who does. There are various perks associated with tiers, so, you know, it's to entice, you know, that's all it's there for. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all of that stuff, interacting with the video, all of that helps as well. It helps a great deal. So please continue and, you know, click. It all takes is a couple clicks of a button and you're helping me out a great deal. So huge thank you. And of course, speaking of thank yous, much thank yous to Carl, aka Guy Miralfer, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer. You love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. We always take the time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles that play before the email segment of the show. It's always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the begin and end of the show. So always much love to my baby bro, Evan. And of course, if you are into rare comics, check them out. EB Comics. It's in the description below. All the stuff. You know what? It's all in the. I'm just gonna point down from now on. It's in the description below. If you want to know, it's in the description. For God's sakes, just check the goddamn description. People don't check the descriptions, but check the damn description. It's in there. It's there. It's right there. It's all there. Just click the link. Just click the links. In fact, just randomly start clicking links. Malev Shinobi. What's happening, buddy? Bunch of hearts. Much love. And of course, much love for Malev. Malev? Am I always saying that right? Malev? 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 Really fantastic painter. Been doing a lot of work for Sean over at Relic Blade. Pretty much like, are you pretty much Sean's like studio painter? Is that what it is? Your studio is doing all the work for him? Is that what is going on there? I'm just kind of curious. I don't know. But anyway, Fire Drake. I didn't come here to read. Dark Commission. You only need a hockey stick graph to prove anything these days. Exactly. Right. All right, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm hungry. Malev. Hey, my dude, just wanted to say hi before you dipped. Haha, Malev is the way. Malev. Like malevolence? Is that what it is? Like malevolence? Malev, yeah, I paint all Metal King Studio models. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I kind of figured, like, it seems like you're always, like, you've been producing it, and I think in the books and everything like that, it's all, like, your paintings in there. Yeah, that's very cool. That's awesome. Sean made a good choice. That's all I'll say. Sean made an excellent choice. An excellent choice. I'm going to say an excellent choice. Because if you're not familiar with Malev's work, Relic Blade. If you're into Relic Blade, Malev's done like all the painting, right? Like all the painting, I think. Yeah. He was once Malevolent MC, but the name is now just Malev. Oh. Are you an MC? Do you rap? I catch your stream every once in a while. I know you bust some rhymes. Kick it old school. Word to your mother. All right, get the hell out of here. See you guys later. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. And if you gotta go out, for God's sakes, wear a goddamn mask. For God's sake. I'd like to see like a press conference where they just come out and just, you know what, people, just wear your goddamn mask. Just wear your goddamn mask.